Alright, hey guys, I'm doing the second part of my little intro to Enaml Native and Enaml syntax. And now I'm going to start covering the pattern nodes that you can use in Enaml Native to build dynamic GUIs all declaratively. So let's start. The first one that's used pretty often is the conditional. And all this does is it lets you show or hide a component based on some condition. So I'm still using the Python playground, and I'm just pasted the code into the browser and reran it. So we just have a layout that's showing a switch and a conditional block. We're setting that condition with an update operator on the switch's check state. So when that changes, it should toggle this condition. And the conditional, what it does is it will either add or remove the component based on the condition value. So you can see it's showing and hiding that component, which is really useful. It's like an if statement declaratively. And it's very efficient because it's only adding and removing the node when it changes. My understanding of React is it diffs the whole view and regenerates a VDOM, so this seems a lot simpler than that. Alright, so the next one is the looper, and this is for iterating over any iterable list of items. It's useful for basically taking some block of code that you want to repeat for each item and generating it. It's almost like a template. So you import it. You can either do it from Enaml or Enaml Native. They both have them. In their API. And what this does is for each iteration in your list, it creates two new scope variables. The one is the item, and the other one is the index, and loop item, loop index. And then you can use these within your pattern or your block here, and it'll repeat for whatever you have in here. So if I added a button in here, that's the loop item, we get it for each one, so you can easily repeat nodes all declaratively with an item. And if you add or remove to this, it'll grow. It refreshes the items without destroying the old ones. It's a really efficient implementation. Alright, and then the next one, this is one that's custom to Enaml Native. It's actually from Enaml Web, which is a library for using Enaml to build websites. But what this component does, it's called the block, and it lets you define almost like a template. So when you define a block without any block attribute set, all of its children will be shown by default. So if I add this card without anything here, it'll show the default content. But then what it also does is it allows us to add or replace the block's content with the content of another block. So this way we don't have to rewrite our whole card component. We can just update the children within that certain block by passing a reference to that block, if that makes any sense. Kind of confusing. But basically blocks help you make reusable components where you can update a certain piece without having to rewrite different parts of it. And the block is actually, it's actually going on to the end. So when you add to the card, it's adding a child down here to this flex box. So without the block, our content would be going down here. So the block, when you reference it, it has it update in the correct spot. So in the app, you can see we have the same content repeating, but we're changing what's inside. Alright, so those are the basic blocks or pattern nodes that you're going to be using in Enaml or Enaml Native. There's a few more. You have to look in the code. The ones that include, and there's a map to view that lets you switch based on an object type. Those are the ones I'm going to cover for now. So thanks for watching. Be sure to check out the project.